I'm Jody Williamson with Sandler Training. I'm here today to talk about rule number 24. Product knowledge used at the wrong time can be intimidating. You know, have you ever overwhelmed a prospect in a sales call with too much product knowledge? If you don't think you have, you actually probably haven't not realized it. Because one of the things we hear from prospects all the time is salespeople tend to come in and talk in buzzwords, industry jargon, acronyms, and in the process they make prospects feel uncomfortable because the salesperson's assuming the prospect knows what they're talking about. And sometimes they do, but many times they don't. And when that happens on a call, a prospect could do one of two things. One thing is they could say, well, time out. I'm not sure what you're saying. Can you clarify yourself? But many prospects won't do that because that implies that they're not intelligent, that they're dummies. And so instead of that, they tend to default to option number two, which is they don't say anything. But what they want to do is get out of that situation because no one likes to feel uncomfortable. So getting out of the situation can look like they have a meeting to go to all of a sudden, or you try to get back in and they don't take your phone calls and they give you the runaround. So we have to be really careful of using product knowledge that way on a sales call. And part of what we have to look at, we have to say, like, where does this come from? And one of the things that we see is that, you know, in our schooling, we learn something new and we get tested and we feed it back and we get strokes in recognition, we get good grades by learning something and regurgitating it back. And so what happens in sales is people learn something and as they're talking about their information and technical knowledge, they are getting some feedback and some strokes and they're feeling better about themselves. And when people talk about what they're comfortable with, they do feel good about themselves. But here's the Sandler rule also, is that sales is no place to get your emotional needs met. It's a place to go to the bank. And if I'm using my product knowledge to feel better about myself, that's the wrong reason to use product knowledge. Product knowledge has a value to give you confidence, so you can ask better questions, so you can qualify prospects better. But other than that, you have to be really careful how you use it. So I want you to think critically about your client interactions and ask yourself, how much product knowledge and industry jargon are you using? And I would challenge you also to try to retool your sales calls in a way where you focus on asking really good questions and not focusing on giving all your product knowledge.